to my masterclass of passion and sexual expression. Are you ready?
Just kidding. What's up everyone, it's Sarah here. Today's video is about using sexual energy to manifest and how to do it and why sexual energy is so powerful. So this is not just some new agey thing that is new. This concept that sexual energy is so powerful is thousands of years old, and you see it expressed in different ways. For example, if you think of religion, Christianity, for example, if you want to be a nun, you have to be celibate, right? Or in other esoteric traditions, it's common practice that before a big ritual you have to be abstinent for maybe a couple of days, sometimes weeks or even months. Then we have the concept of sexual transmutation. I get to that in detail too. And then there is literally the opposing view where you directly use sex as an energy source to manifest or to become more spiritual. And what they all really have in common is the recognition of how powerful sexual energy is. So to understand why sexual energy is so powerful, I want to talk about the energy body first. I know that a lot of people that watch me are probably familiar with the 7 chakra system, and in that system you have the root chakra as the lowest and then the sacral, but that's not the system that I use because I'm a pranic healer, and in pranic healing we use a completely different system. We use 11 major chakras, also minors and other stuff, but that's not important. But as far as the major chakras, the lowest chakra would be the basic, which is the base of the spine. That chakra is just in the back, and that is your survival instinct. That's self-preservation. It's literally surviving in this world, right? Like straight up earthly desires. And then in the front where the sexual organs are, we have the sex chakra. So what's really important to understand all of this is how different the upper chakras are from the lower chakras and what they do, what they're supposed to do. Our lower chakras are much more raw energy. They're about our earthly world, our earthly desires, right? And how to survive here and all of that. Then our upper chakras are much more spiritual, and the energy is much more refined. For example, the crown, our highest chakra, that is our connection to the divine. And if you think of saints, you see them with a halo. Sometimes you see them with a crown. So the crown chakra is perceived as kind of a flower, and it has petals on the outside that look like a crown. The more spiritual you are, the more petals you have. So that's why the crown of the saints shows us the petals. Anyways, bottom line is our lowest chakras are much more raw energy. And if you think of the sex chakra and the meaning of it, it's procreation, of course. And it's also the center of our lower creativity, and it's connected to the throat chakra. Our throat chakra is our upper creativity and straight up creativity. And usually when that chakra is very active, your sex chakra is also going to be really active. And that means if you look at very successful people, very creative people, a lot of them are very sexual too. If you have a very developed sex chakra, that means you have a lot of raw power to manifest and to heal people and all of that. So back to different ways of how to use this, right? So of course there can be people that don't use their sex chakra. Now our energy body is supposed to be balanced. So actually you are supposed to use this chakra, okay, the sex chakra, and have sex. But if you don't, then there are ways how to transmute that energy. And for example, in pranic healing, we have an exercise for that where we stand up and breathe and focus and then bring that energy upwards to our upper chakras and that we have on our heads, so that we can use that energy for spirituality and also to make the energy that is otherwise stuck down here, to make it kind of stuck, to keep things moving. So we have that in pranic healing. When I did research for this video, I saw that Master Sri, I think Akarshan or something like that, he had a video on this, and he's also explaining an exercise of how you can bring that energy up if you're not using your sex chakra, if you don't have sex, also not with yourself, you know what I mean? So literally if you don't use this chakra at all. So you can check that out. And then even in Think and Grow Rich, there's a whole chapter that is called sexual transmutation, but that is also more of a view of being abstinent and then using that energy, that stored energy, for success. Those are some ways to use this to manifest and for success. But let's talk about the fun ways. Let's say you want to use your sexual energy directly. You can do this with another person or when you're alone, and this is pretty simple. You can just visualize your end result while you build up that sexual energy, and then when you climax, you hold it in mind, and then after you can let go. So this is pretty simple to explain. I don't know what else to explain about it, but you can try this and see how that works for you. But there's one thing I have to say about that. You can try this technique for any kind of thing that you want to manifest and bring into your life, but it's especially powerful when you're trying to manifest another person, a specific person. This is where it gets a little juicy. Let's say you want to attract another person, you really want to get into someone else's mind, or you want to make someone attracted to you. I have to make a whole separate video about telepathy and that whole thing, but if you think of that, we're all connected on the spiritual plane. If you're not okay with influencing other people, that's fine. Then disregard everything I'm saying. I'm just telling you where this technique is especially powerful, you know what I mean? Do with that what you want. It's your decision anyways. And that person still has free will. You're not taking away anyone's free will by doing this at all. Let's say, in this case, obviously you would be by yourself and not with another person because you're trying to attract that person or have them see you a certain way, right? Or put some sexual things about you into their minds. So you're be by yourself, pleasuring yourself, but I would recommend that before you even start, you already mentally really try to connect with the other person. You really visualize them. You remember how it feels to be around them, like how you feel when they come through the door. You can imagine that person being next to you or standing in front of you. Whatever situation is fine. This is more about connecting with them psychically in the first place. It helps to, like I said, think of a feeling, how you feel when you're around them, or think of how they smell, or the voice, detail of their face, get as detailed as you can. Once you have that feeling, and to me, it's really obvious when you have reached that state where you feel really connected to someone on like a psychic level. Once you're there, then you can start pleasuring yourself, and you should visualize a future scenario. You should not visualize the past scenario, future, because you want to manifest the future scenario, right? And you hold that in mind all the way through. And little advice, it's extra powerful to do this when the other person is sleeping. When they're asleep, like their natural defenses are down. So the chance for them to pick it up is much higher versus while they're sitting in the office working, And actually, I have a really funny story to tell about that. And it just shows you how powerful this is. I was sleeping and I had a very graphic dream about someone that, first of all, I'm not attracted to. That person is in another country, and that's not someone that I frequently see on social media or communicate with. I hadn't seen anything of that person the night before I went to bed, you say. So and I'm not attracted to them. Anyways, I had this very graphic dream of this person, and I woke up thinking, what the hell? Why would I dream something about this person? And then I take my phone, just woke up, and I go on Instagram, and I had notifications that this person that I had the dreams about, an hour before, he had gone through my pictures, liked a lot of pictures, and then he had posted, I had a picture in a bikini or something, and he posted all these fire emojis, and I'm just like, wow. He obviously thought a certain way about me, and he was kind of, I don't want to say stalking, but you know what I mean. He was hardcore, going through all my pictures, all my stuff, and then putting the fire emojis. I could just think that that person had some sexual thoughts about me while I was sleeping. As a result, I was able to pick that up. I picked up his energy while I was asleep. So that was totally crazy, and there's no other explanation than me picking up his energy while he had certain thoughts about me and was intensely thinking about me. So that's crazy, but it's a great proof of how powerful this is. Especially ladies, you have a new boyfriend and you want him to be really passionate about you. You can do the technique I just talked about while the other person is asleep. I used to do this with a new boyfriend. Every single time I did this to him, I would wake up to the sweetest text that he sent me while I was asleep, because I have the habit of going to bed really late. That's why. Just shows you how powerful that is. One last piece of advice with this: don't confuse this, because this is sexual energy that you're sending to someone. This is not romantic or love energy, so don't confuse this. If you're already, I want to say, in touch with someone or dealing with someone, and you want that person to see you in a more romantic way, maybe you have sex with that person but they don't see you in a romantic way, and then you do this is not gonna help them to see you more romantically, you know what I mean? That's what I would think. They would probably just pick up more sexual energy, because it's not really romantic energy that you're sending them. Just, you know, some words of caution on how to use this and what it does. But of course, if you like really want to be in someone's mind and you do this often, then it's very, very effective. So yeah, I hope that you found this video helpful, and hey, let me know your experiences with this. I'm really curious what your results are with it, and I see you in the next video.